This is what Van Jones said about Vivek.
And the smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person. Yeah. And I was shaking listening to him talk because a lot of people don't know that is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his mouth.
Okay, like
from an Indian, yeah.
I can't believe that. Like that's ridiculous. And then this is his response. This is Vivek's response.
So I say that on that last debate stage to a bunch of Republicans that are shaking in their boots. These are the things you're not supposed to say in the Republican Party even today. And then you get the mainstream media. You got this character Van Jones on CNN afterwards saying, this is the rise of an American demagogue who's going to live 50 years longer than Trump. This is dangerous. I am shaking. That's what he says. Just shut the fuck up.
Wow. I've never really heard Vivek personally.
That's amazing.
Just shut the fuck up.
Wow.
Now, hold on. I want to ask him.
Jones
Kobe, I
at
want to ask
CNN.
you, but we talked about this in the prep a couple days ago, Patrick. You did it. You're not a fan of that. You're not a fan of Vivek going, like, as a presidential candidate. You're not a fan of that.
I don't know. I think I think there's a difference. Vivek's already making so many strides on how much he's come up. Yes, 2 days ago, he made the most viral video on X for a single day. He had 150,000, 200,000 likes. That thing got 10, 15 million views when he's saying, I'm going to be removing myself from the Colorado, and I'm pledging and I'm challenging my peers, Haley and all these other guys to do the same as well. Where's it at now? Can you 20 million views? Look at that.
Jeez.
16.8 million views, 200,000 likes. He's just sitting there from his, RV saying this. I don't think a presidential candidate should get up there and saying what he said. UFC, MMA, all the other stuff, fine. I don't know if a presidential candidate should go up there and say something like that. I can see how it could rally a young audience if you're speaking to a private young audience, but you have to know everything you say, someone's going to see it.
Yeah.
In today's climate, nobody gives a shit anymore when you're cursing. It's no longer what it was 20 years ago. So I get that part. It's been dehumanized, like it's no longer it's been desensitized than what it was before. I still don't like him saying it.
You don't like, and the only reason I disagree is because at what point, and I know you're going to agree, like enough is enough. Trump is going to, God willing, for these 4 years, but when he's done, this is our next product. I'm thinking of the future, but it's like if he's the future, it's like the left, and they're starting it again with him. How long are we going to let them get away with it? Calling somebody evil. Let me explain something to you, bro. This is what he said. And I'm tired of this acting presidential. So what's acting presidential? All the illegal shit that they do. I like it because think about this. If somebody said this to you, Kobe, you're dangerous, smug, condescending, you spew poison, you're an American demagogue, you're a despicable person. Dude, we've hung out with this guy. This saying despicable, he's a freaking family man. It's shitty. And that he's speaking one step away from Nazi propaganda. You know what you say to that? Shut the fuck up. That's what.
I don't think so. I disagree.
You disagree, but
and let me tell you why.
Go ahead.
I mean, what you're saying will gain you some fans on what you're saying here. So it's a nice thing for people to say, that's why I love Vinny and da-da-da-da, and make you feel good about it.
Yeah.
But that's not what leaders do.
Yeah.
A leader sits there and says, you could give the same message without having to say that on that platform. Because that message, again, I've been in a lot of rooms where I've gotten up and given a talk, and I've gotten the, hey, bro, great job, dog, and hey, and then I'm like, shit, but I lost those two clients, and I lost that person's the most loyal person that comes with me, family guy, Christian guy that's doing this. Damn, I shouldn't have used those words. And if you consider yourself wanting to be a leader amongst leaders, who are you leading? You're leading other leaders, okay? This is not leading other leaders. If you do it once, twice, 3 times, fine. Don't fall for the temptation. I just hope this doesn't become a trend where we're hearing it next week and an interview and in a podcast and a this and a that and a this.
You think he'd be a multiple occasions saying the F word, or was it because TP, he was at the America Fest and younger crowd, and
Vinny,
or just
you've
fed up
been
with
around me, you've heard me curse. It's not like I
Rarely.
don't curse. I'm not sitting here telling you I don't.
Yeah.
Or I do. You know, when you first came to us, your brand was a different brand.
100%.
When you were content, you were kind of like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't need to do this stuff to make people laugh.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes sometimes if you're not too careful, your reputation is what everybody else says your reputation is, and you stay loyal to what other people keep saying you are. And that's you're arrested. You're in a prison. You're in a, what do you call it? You're like a spider web that's got a hold of you, and then it could be like you're the clown, you're the fighter, you're the gangster, you're the thief, you're the bully, you're the this, you're the that, and you're like, dude, that was when I was 18 years old. That was when I was 32. I'm 45 years old. No, I'm not that anymore. That's when I was that, and you have to find a way to not fall for that trap. There's an audience that wants him to say this, but who is that audience? The 2%? The 8%? The 13%? What about the other side that you needed? No. One time, fine, means you're capable of losing your shit. Means you're human being. Totally fine. If this becomes the brand moving forward, Trump said it a couple times on stage, and I like it when he said it a couple times.
Yeah, rarely.
I actually like it when he said it a couple times. I just don't think it has to be consistent.
Oh, yeah, I
and I
agree.
hope it doesn't become consistent.
I agree. What I'm saying is, though, think about what was said about him. I'm not gonna lie to you, Pat. I probably would have gone even worse.
But that's why you got to be careful, though, because if you're trying to be a president, we can say, if they would have done it to me, I would have done such and such. Okay? Before having a daughter, my biggest fear was, what am I going to do when I have a daughter and a guy is going to hook up with my daughter and date my daughter, and I'm sleeping at night and they're still at the movies, and as a man, your creative mind is going where?
Yeah, of course.
Think about that, right? Of course. So first place you go to, I'm going to pull off a Will Smith, and hey, you're going to come to the house, and it's going to be like, hey, you like man? You ever been with a man? You want to, right?
Yeah.
Will Smith comes out and is up with you. Which movie is this, by the way?
Bad Boys. Bad Boys 2,
right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mike Loud.
I'm going to have to have somebody come out there and do this.
You're 17.
Yeah.
You look like you're 30.
Yeah. So are you going to, and then eventually you're like, well, if you raise them well, you show them love, you give them an example, and they get to choose. They're going to have their heart broken at some point or another. You have to kind of work with that, right? But if you want to be that tough guy gangster beating everybody up for the rest of your life, your upside is limited. So, yes, I get what you're saying. I understand it. It's exciting. But look at this. That comment he said didn't go viral, and look at this comment, 20 million. Yeah. You know why? Because this made sense. This made sense. He didn't curse one time. He didn't say anything. This makes sense, and people listen to it to the point where he's cornering DeSantis and he knows what DeSantis is going to say.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He knows they're going to go to DeSantis, and he's going to be asked that question, and DeSantis is going to say no, and MAGA's going to see it. He knows what he's doing. Do this. He can outschool his peers staying in this mode, not in the other mode. The other mode is temptation. Again, I could be wrong. It's my opinion. That's all I'm saying. If you see yourself as a leader amongst leaders, you have to pump the brakes when it comes down to certain approaches you take.
Yeah,
Kobe, what do you think?
I mean, I think, they're pulling nasty things out of their playbook. The things that they're doing, taking him off a ballot for nothing he was ever even convicted of. This is just, not even a crime that he ever did. And so this is terrible behavior. So I think the gloves are coming off, and there's no more fair fight. We can't be nice. We need to be stern. We need to be, up front. I mean, you look at Elon, the way he went after the guys that were pulling back all those funds off of X, and he said, what do you say? Get the fuck out of here.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Like
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with that.
He's not running for a presidential.
That's it. That's the only difference.
It's different, So I do feel like you're probably right. When you're in that political position, running for a presidential position, like, you still need to make middle America happy. And middle America, they don't want people cussing and doing those types of things, because that's not a good example for their kids. So, yeah, there's ways that he could come across a lot stronger without having to say that. So I do agree on that front. But we're not playing fair anymore. They're not playing by the rules. They've opened
never
our
have.
borders.
By the way,
and they never will.
That's our job. Let us do it. You don't need to do that, okay? I was on whose show was that? A guy asked me a question. He says, you got advice for Trump. What would you give him? I'm like, dude, you don't give advice to a guy like that. When you make it at that level, he's not taking. But he is a what do you mean guy. He takes a lot of it. So Charlie Kirk asked me this question at the event, Turning Point USA, when I'm doing his podcast last week. I said, the only thing I would say is the following. Here's what I would say. When you're a boss, you're Lucky Luciano. When you are, Roger Goodell, okay, of NFL. When you are Dana White, when you are go to the bosses, the boss amongst bosses, okay, you're going to have more enemies than anybody else. You're already dealing with your kid issues, your family issues, your personal health issues that nobody knows about. Your marriage, you got so much other shit you're dealing with that no one knows about. And you can't ever talk about that with anybody else because nobody gives a shit, quite frankly. It's like, that's your problem, bro. Handle your problem. But if you're going to be a boss amongst bosses, you list out your enemies, 50 of them. Trump's got thousands. But let's just say you list out your top 50 enemies. And you know what you do? Here's what you do. Guys, I'm going after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going after 6, 9, 14, 28. Patrick, you're going to go do this. Vinny, you're going to go do this. And you're going to be like, dude, I got 28. As a matter of fact, I want 28, right? Give
Can't
me
wait to
7.
get that 28.
But
Yeah.
the way this is you're playing defense. Dude, I want to freaking lock him up. I want to guard him. I got him, right? Where sometimes Michael's like, no. I'm locking him up. Like the one wants to lock up the one, right? Yeah. All I'm saying is that's our job. You know, whoever, when I say our job, whoever's not running, you know, that's somebody else. That's your job to go fight for a guy like that. It's the office. Elon Musk, what he did? Freaking 10 out of 10. Go. Dana White, 10 out of 10. Go, but they're not running for office. That office is an office that was held by, you know, Lincoln's room. All these other guys that have come before us. There's a level of respect we have to have for those guys. That's all I'm saying.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.